Hey everybody, welcome back to class. It's an exciting lesson today because we're going to add in a fill-in right here on when C billows roll. We'll add a whole measure right here. This is part of our It Is Well with My Soul series. I'll put a link to that whole playlist in our comments below. We're creating our very own piano arrangement out of the hymnal. So let's get right into it. We were playing the verse in the last lesson, and we were doing maybe our left-hand raindrop pattern. Or a waterfall. Or the repeated notes. And this is where we ended off. And we're going to add our own measure right here. So we're going to add a whole measure so we can do a nice run. So let's go over the specifics of how to add a run. Before we go on, go ahead and pause it. You can get your pencil and paper, and let's get right into our lesson. So go ahead and put your device right there on your piano. Let's write this down. Number one, if we're going to do a run, you need to know the scale that we're in for sure. And then, by the way, the type of run we're going to do, just to be clear on what kind of run we're looking at here, whenever you're doing a run, there could be arpeggio runs. There could be like other fill-in type stuff, or type of fill-in licks there. But today we're just going to do a scale run. We're in the key of C. So in the key of C, as long as you know your notes, then you're fine. We're going to do a scale run. Number 2, when a phrase ends on a 5 chord, when a phrase ends on a 5 chord and then it's going to land on a 1 chord next, which usually happens, we've talked about this a lot. It sounds unfinished on a 5 chord and then it wants to land back home. Anywhere in between here, we can add a run. Or any fill-in really, but today we're doing a scale run. And you could do a scale run that's ascending, you could do a scale run that's descending, you could even kind of do a family circus thing where you kind of mix around, even overshoot it, and then eventually end up back home. And the important thing is this last part right here. We need to know what the 1 chord is. The notes to the 1 chord in the key of C are C, E, and G. So these are our chord tones. As long as you land on any of the chord tones, you're safe. So if you're doing accompaniment and you land on a C, E, or G, it will still sound good. If you're playing, today we're making our own arrangement, we need to end on, I guess, another point here, kind of a sub point, but we'll make it 4. You want to end on a melody note. Okay, and the melody note that we're going to land on is C. So let's start on when sorrows like C billows roll. We have this repeated note. If I ended here, it sounds unfinished until we land on C. All right, and there's a little run there. And it sounds good because we landed on C. By the way, this is a 5 chord, and that's our ending. If you don't know your 1, 4, 5 chords, type in step by step in the comments below, and I'll send you 22 free lessons, and it will show you how to understand the 1, 4, 5 chords in more detail. But for us that already know it, this is a 5 chord, and it sounded very unfinished. If I left it off here, you're like, okay, where's the rest, right? It's half finished until we landed there. We're gonna land on this C, that's our target note, it's the first beat. And just like a gymnast is in the air, and then when she sticks the landing, as long as she sticks that landing, it makes a lot of things very forgivable. We're gonna do that here, and we're gonna do just a small run. Let's experiment, let's pick a note, let's do C. Okay, because that's a nice C major scale. So Wow, and that works. Notice I skipped a note. Why? Because I needed to stick the landing. I need to hit this target note. It's okay to skip some notes. It's okay to repeat the notes and do a toe tap on the landing. So go ahead, pause it right now. Experiment by picking any of these notes and just do a small run for now. And then when you're ready, come back and we'll do a little bit of a longer run. Okay, welcome back. Maybe you want to do a little bit of a longer run and you've been experimenting. And maybe you even found out that you're like, oh, I want to add more notes. I want a faster run. You can do that. Notice I just did it. I overshot it. And then as long as I landed on C, it still is forgivable. It still sounded good. You're going to find some runs that sound better than others. And that's why you got to experiment. So I'm going to try and overshoot that again. I'm going to start from G. Yeah, I just barely overshot that. Just overshot the landing and then I stuck it. That's good. Now remember, we could go ascending, but we could also go descending. That's a lot of fun too. Let's do a small one. Let's pick any note up here within an octave. Okay, within an octave for now as we practice it. Let's pick A. Okay. Let's try A. Let's see what that does. Wow, it looks like you're like, oh, I overshot it. It's okay. Toe tap. Double it up. Repeat that note, and you'll stick that landing. One more time. And it sounds great. Go ahead and pause and experiment on the descending within an octave for now, okay? Go ahead and pause it. And welcome back. Sometimes we could do that family circus thing where that kid just runs everywhere and then finally ends up home. So we can do that. Maybe you're just gonna do a little flourishing. It sounds like an opera soprano and she's doing all these runs and then she finally lands on that target note. So we could do. Yeah. Now you can do that if you have the technique ready for that. And that will take some practice. Oh. I messed up, but just showing you that it will take practice. You could do that reverse too. And let me show you one more thing, or you could pause it right now and practice that if you want. But the last one is just the octaves, because octaves can be a bit tricky. If you wanted to do this for accompaniment or a bigger sound. Once again, I doubled up on C. You're saying, oh, that's a little too hard. Let's do it within an octave again. Just do it within an octave. Pick a note. But stick the landing. Oh boy, this is going to be so much fun to practice. If you learned from that lesson, you're really going to enjoy our other series. Here's our It Is Well with My Soul playlist right here. And you could start our What a Friend We Have in Jesus series over here. Happy practicing.